Excellencies, distinguished guests, my colleagues from the United Nations family, friends, ladies and gentlemen, it is a profound honor to welcome you today to the United Nations compound as we gather to launch the UN at 80 campaign with China and open the One World Shared Future visual exhibition which you can see around you. This moment is made possible by the steadfast partnership of our co-hosts, the China Global Television Network, CGTN, the UN Communications Group, our colleagues who work tirelessly on this, the China Media Group, and we thank them for their shared commitment, which has breathed life into this ambitious vision. This year marks the 80th anniversary of the United Nations under the theme, Building Our Future Together. For 8 decades, through the rubbles of war and the dawn of new eras, this institution has stood as a testament to a radical idea that our shared challenges demand shared solutions. It remains the world's essential meeting ground, a place where dialogue can and must triumph over discord. Yesterday, at the UN General Assembly meeting in New York, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres called peace the most courageous, the most practical, and the most necessary pursuit of all. He spoke of the UN's pioneers who bore the scars of war and chose nonetheless to build. That choice has never been abstract to me. I was born personally into a refugee family where the United Nations was not a distant concept, but it was a lifeline. As a child, I recovered from a disease called polio through a UN health initiative. I carried a UNICEF backpack to school. These were not just services, they were tangible threads of hope woven into the fabric of my earliest memories as a child. The UN was quite literally my foundation. Later, many years later, as a UN staff member, I saw that alternative to hope. In Bosnia-Herzegovina, I witnessed communities shattered by strife. In Iraq and Sudan, I confronted the stark choice of hunger and displacement. And in Somalia and in South Sudan, I stood alongside colleagues working to disarm child soldiers and reopen schools to be able to be a beacon of hope I had known in amongst some of the world's most broken places. These experiences carved out a fundamental truth into my being, that violence is a cycle and not a solution. That the only push to enduring peace is paved through dialogue and diplomacy. So for me, the United Nations is more than an institution. It is a single continuous thread, one that saved me as a child and one that I have now spent 29 years helping to weave for others. For China, a founding member of this organization, this anniversary also carries profound meaning. As a permanent member of the Security Council, China has been a consistent pillar of multilateralism, from its steadfast contributions to peacekeeping to its pivotal role in advancing the Sustainable Development Goals, in championing cooperation on crises from climate change to public health. China embodies a very spirit of solidarity etched into the UN Charter. Ladies and gentlemen, the UN at 80 is therefore a shared opportunity, not merely to reflect on our past achievements, but to vigorously reaffirm the UN's purpose in a rapidly changing world. It is the story of a partnership in action, a legacy of peace, of prosperity, of sustainability, and we have to be determined to continue to build upon it. And who better guide that future than the next generation? This exhibition is their canvas from over 56,000 submissions across 50 countries. Young voices speak with clarity and courage. Their art is not a passive hope, but it is a powerful reminder as to what is at stake. A fragile planet, the urgent cry for justice, and a future that must be built on the bedrock of peace and shared responsibility. They challenge us not merely to remember, but to act. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the UN at 80 is ultimately not about the past or the future we build. So let us draw inspiration from the young artists. Let us renew faith in our collective action, and let us leave here today more determined to ensure that the next 80 years fulfill that enduring promise for those three simple, powerful words: we, the people. Thank you very much. 谢谢。